You guys, the truth is this. I'm easily freaking triggered. I'm an anxious person. I'm an irritated person. You guys, the truth of the matter is most days I don't want to work out. Most days I do feel lazy. I want to lay in bed. What's up, guys? It's Marissa with Barely Keeping It Together, and today I want to chat with you all about self-care.
I'm Marissa. I'm a borderline crazy dog mom, entrepreneur, interior design obsessed, pop culture enthusiast. I'm here to bring you all things interiors, life hacks, personal development, organization, and manifestation. I'm the kind of woman who doesn't have the patience to get through this recording. So let's get into it. This is Barely Keeping It Together.
Before we get into this video, if you enjoy this video, please give it a like because it does so much for creators like myself here on YouTube. All right, let's get into my self-care routine. Now, self-care, I personally think, gets a bad rep as spa days, massages, and face masks. And honestly, that's not what self-care is. What self-care is it is intentionally taking the time to care for yourself and do things for yourself as if you love yourself, as if you have self-love, right? So yes, that can include things like pampering and making yourself feel good through things like massages, but it's not necessarily just pampering. It includes so much more than that. And that is why I wanted to share with you guys my self-care routine, how I came up with it, and what these things do to play a role in my self-care, why I have them, etc. So you can implement that into your life as well. So the first thing on my self-care routine that I want to share with you is that for me, it is super important that I wake up before the rest of the house does. Now, I feel like I've mentioned it a million times here on this channel, but the location of my bedroom in this house is a little bit in the middle of chaos. If my nephew wakes up before I do, he comes downstairs, his playroom is right next to mine. It's just loud, the location of my room. So if I'm not the first person to wake up, I sort of wake up to chaos. So it is super important for my inner peace and my mental health that I'm the first person up, because waking up to that chaos is way too much for me. So I wake up first in the house. This is interesting because it's not something I quote unquote want to do. Actually, most mornings I probably don't want to do it, but I need to do it in order to set myself up to have a great day. So this includes waking up first in the house, then I immediately have my pre-workout and I journal, and then I do my workout. Once I've set myself up for success and I hear the rest of the house wake up, it's a lot less stressful for me as a person with anxiety because I've already sort of gotten my mind right and set up for the day. So again, this self-care is kind of interesting because it's not necessarily something I want to do, but something I have to do to set my day up for success. Which leads me into my second part of my daily self-care routine, which is working out every single morning, Monday through Friday, non-negotiable. I have to move my body. The way that I became the most dedicated to my workout routine was actually when it wasn't for anything vain and it wasn't for fitness, it was actually for my mental health. Because as soon as I realized that I have a 10 times better day if I move my body in the morning and that movement is medicine to me, it became a non-negotiable within my day. I didn't sit in bed and sort of go back and forth. Do I want to work out? Do I not want to work out? Because you guys, the truth of the matter is most days I don't want to work out. Most days I do feel lazy. I want to lay in bed. But the thing is, if I know that I'm going to be feeling down or depressed or have a lot of anxiety that day from not working out, then I would much rather go do a 20-minute Peloton workout and have a better day because it's a long-term result. So that is why movement being medicine is part of my self-care routine. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is nourishing my body. You guys, if you know me, I am a huge foodie. I'm food obsessed. My friends always joke that they want to eat whatever I'm eating because like when I'm eating, I just get so much pleasure from my food that they're like, you make anything look delicious because it just looks like you're enjoying it so much. Like low-key, they're disappointed when they eat like, I don't know, some Doritos and I'm having Doritos. They're like, damn, Marissa, you made that look so good and it still just tastes like a normal Dorito. So anyways, the point is, if you know me, you know I love eating. But the thing here is I have realized that making sure I take the time to make myself food that is delicious but also nutritious is a way that I show myself that I love myself. So I like to definitely take care and put together meals. Now, working from home and it being quarantine, it is so freaking easy. And you guys, I fall into the trap too, but when I'm on my best behavior, I don't do this. Having stale crackers and a LaCroix and a black coffee does not a breakfast or a lunch make just because we're home on quarantine or we work from home or whatever the case may be. It's really important, even if you're at home, to make yourself a lunch and, you know, take the time and sit down and eat it, because you're showing yourself you love yourself and you care for yourself. And by the way, that subconsciously gets into your brain that you love yourself, and you'll show the rest of the world that you deserve that love as well. But by showing yourself that you love yourself through creating the time and the energy to make yourself a meal, sit down and consume it, and something that's going to fuel your body. That doesn't mean I'm just saying eat salads. You know, your girl loves carbs, she eats sandwiches, all the things. But I feed myself, this is like my little trick, is I feed myself like I would my nephew, right? So my 2-year-old nephew, every day I'm going, okay, have you had your protein? Have you had vegetables and fruits and those sorts of things? I just baby myself like I would a little child. Have I hit all the food groups? Yeah, guess what? I'm gonna eat candy. I'm gonna eat carbs. Like, I do all the things, but I also make sure I hit all the groups just like I would for my nephew, because guess what? I love him and I want him to be healthy. And guess what else? I love me and I want me to be healthy too. So that's why creating meals that are delicious, nutritious, and taking the time to do it is an integral part of my self-care routine. So next up, I want to talk about how visualizations are a part of my self-care routine. What do I mean by this? Well, visualizations are a part of my morning routine, they're part of my night routine. I actually incorporate them throughout the day in different ways. So in the morning, I actually like to do a thing where I pick something out of a jar, I close my eyes and spend 2 minutes visualizing it. I also do a visualization meditation practice where I lay down for anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes after my workouts, and I do a meditation to, you know, get into my day with intention. Now, meditation has also helped my mental health in terms of my anxiety as well, but these visualizations have allowed me to manifest things to come into my life and also get my subconscious brain, you know, prepared to start creating, manifesting things. Now, if you guys are sort of new to this manifestation, subconscious mind thing, I'll just quickly share with you. We only consciously use 5% of our brain, which means the rest of our brain is our subconscious mind. So through visualization, thinking about what it is that are our dreams and our desires and what we want our life to look like, we're actually getting our subconscious mind on board with our conscious dreams, and our subconscious brain, I love referring to it as they, that's funny, but our subconscious brain starts working towards our dreams and our goals as we also consciously work towards our dreams and our goals. Now, this month, I'm actually going to be launching a visualization meditation practice in my email. So if you guys are interested in signing up to get that free visualization practice emailed to you, it is a recording that you sit and you listen to and you do as a meditation. It is linked down in the description below, and I will email you over that practice. It's about 10-15 minutes, and basically you can listen to it as often as you like, daily, or even ideally you would listen to it in the morning and the evening and do your meditation and visualization practice, which will help you not only work on your mental state with your meditation and your breathing, but will also help you start to get into that practice of visualizing and manifesting as well. So visualizations are definitely a part of my self-care routine because, one, they center me and get me ready for the day, but they also help me start manifesting the life of my dreams. So that's why visualizations are part of my self-care routine. Another thing that is a part of my self-care routine is actually self-coaching. And what I mean by this is actually talking to myself either aloud or in my head and walking through what it is that's going to come up in my day. That, one, how do I need to show up? What energy do I need to bring? What mindset do I need to be positive? Is there going to be frustrations that I can foresee? And also just kind of know thyself, know the things that irritate you and those sorts of things. And so by doing that, what I do is in the shower or after my meditation, before I go upstairs, I can sort of foresee what the things that are coming up in my day are, and I coach myself through how I need to show up for this. A great example of this, you guys, the truth is this: I'm easily freaking triggered. I'm an anxious person. I'm an irritated person. Like, things bug me. And by getting myself in a mental state where I'm prepared for the things that are going to piss me off, I can intentionally choose how I want to show up. You don't have to be this woo-woo yogi. By the way, if you are that person, good for you. I envy you. I'm not a woo-woo yogi. I'm not some like Zen peaceful chick, but the way that I kind of create that in myself is I coach myself in how I want to show up in situations that piss me off. That's the honest to God truth. So by self-coaching, I'm showing myself self-care because it allows me to avoid situations that are gonna get me upset, and also prepare myself for situations that are gonna trigger me. So self-coaching is super important to my personal self-care routine. Next part of my self-care routine is alone time. We are in my YouTube studio right now. By the way, if you guys haven't seen the video, I revealed this whole room in this video. I will link it up above. But YouTube was honestly a great excuse to make a clubhouse that is secluded from the rest of my house, just for me, where I sort of have a peaceful space. Now, don't get me wrong, I hear the dogs barking, I hear the garage door open, I hear my nephew crying. There's definitely things I hear from this room, and it feels like I could never get peace, but that's another freaking story. But creating alone time was the secret truth behind why I needed this room. This room is my clubhouse, secluded from the rest of the house. I need my alone time every single day. Again, it's no secret, my room is in the middle of chaos in this house. I feel like when I'm working out, I have people running around above me. When I wake up, I've got kids, and there's just a lot going on here. So having a time and space to be alone is integral for my mental health. I need to connect with my business. I need to show up for you guys. I also need to show up for myself. So having a space where it can be alone and quiet is super important to me. Now, if I don't get that time during the day, it's also really important to me that I have it at night before I go to bed. So a lot of times I like watching TV shows with my family, or just having family time, playing with my nephew, playing with my dog, all of those sorts of things. But if I don't get that alone time during the day, it's really important that I just say, you know what, I'm gonna skip out tonight. I'm either gonna go read or listen to an audiobook in my room alone, because I need that time to regroup. Now, maybe you don't need that time. Maybe you need socialization because you're a super extrovert. Then self-care for you could look like making sure you take the time to FaceTime your friends or something along those lines. Again, know thyself and know what self-care and showing up and energizing and refreshing your life looks like for you. This is just what works for me. Okay, so the last part of my self-care routine that I wanted to share with you guys is planning my week in advance. I've shared before, and by the way, I can link the video above if you are interested, that I do a ton of weekly planning every week on Sunday. I plan out all my workouts and I meal plan for the week, as well as I plan all the work that I need to do. First of all, this gives me a roadmap for the week. It lets me show up every day kind of knowing what it is that I need to do, but also it takes out the decision fatigue throughout the rest of the week. If I know every single workout that I'm gonna do, I really don't have an excuse. I don't have to think about it. I just show up and do whatever it is that I planned. And then same thing with meal planning. We have the groceries, we have the plan, or no reason not to do exactly what we planned. It takes out that decision fatigue. Also, by doing this in advance, it allows me to be a little bit more intentional with my time. I can say, okay, this day is all for content creation. This day I need to show up and meet with clients. This day I need to do this. And then I can coach myself into it. Okay, I have 3 client calls today. How do I want my brain and my mental space to be so that I can be the best coach possible to meet with them? Or how do I need my energy to be so that I can record a YouTube video? By the way, maybe I need to blow dry my hair. All those sorts of things. I can be super intentional about how I map out my week on a Sunday rather than Tuesday, Wednesday being like, oh, I forgot that I need to film, or oh, I have this call, but I'm also busy, and then you don't show up the right way you want to for your work. So it allows you to be so much more intentional with the way that you show up through the rest of the week. All right, you guys, those are all of the super important part of my self-care routine. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does so much for budding creators like myself here on YouTube, and do not hesitate to subscribe as well. Now, just a reminder, down linked in the description below, I will have that meditation visualization for you that I will email over to you if you're interested in getting involved in that as well. All right, you guys, I will chat with you later. Bye.